Yo, what's up, guys? This is the Strawberry Jams podcast. I'm your host, Monday Sauce, and here we are with another podcast. Usually I always, go on top of the dome. But we are gonna talk about like overcoming insecurities and how you do you maneuver in like how to be confident and whatnot. But if you have like you want to listen about confidence and how you do it, I'm not the most like perfect. Yeah, I'm not perfect, but I try my best to be confident as much as possible. You can listen to the previous episodes called Big Boy Confidence. But yeah, that's why I have this topic on my mind because I was talking to a homegirl recently, and then she was saying that why do I feel like in social media or even like in person, like I don't have any shyness in me. I don't have any, like I'm not shy. Like I feel like I'm very very confident and I handle myself well. And she was asking me like, how do you because she believes like everyone has insecurities, and I agree with her. I have insecurities as well, and but I still try my best to maneuver and be confident, on myself. So we were talking about this. So she was saying like, so how did you like overcome it? And I feel like honestly, I think you can overcome it, but it will still be there. And at the end of the day, you just have the acceptance of like accepting your flaws and just, like how you're gonna maneuver, you know, that in your life as much as possible. So, like me, me before, I remember because she was asking me like were you like insecure because of your body weight and stuff. And like for me, I'm honestly like I'm a big dude, right? And since I was a kid, like I'm always like kind of low key, like chubby, okay, not low key, but I'm chubby in a way. But there was times, yes, like when you were a kid or like when you're in high school or whatever, you like you just, how do I say this, you'll have that insecurity. And for me at that time is like, when they tease you or you're big, or like, oh, they say negative things to you, or you just really have a bad day, and you just dwell on it. But for me, like I dwell on it before when I was a little bit younger, but it's just, I don't know, I just move on from it. It hurts, but I just move on from it. Or sometimes, like, when you're insecure, you just play it off like, oh, you're this, you're that, and you just laugh, and you just laugh at yourself. But honestly, like, you still like hurting a little bit, But for me, like, I was telling her that I think I became, I don't know when I became confident, but like all I know is, even though like it's impossible, I still do it. So I was telling her like I'm kind of like a risk taker since like the beginning. I don't even remember, but I'm kind of like a risk taker. I was telling her. And then she's like, how do you what do you mean about, oh, how what do you mean like you're a risk taker, and how does it helps you with like your confidence and your, like you overcoming your insecurities? So like I'll give you like a story. Like before in high school, like I don't want to say like I'm the popular kid, but I'm not a nerd, or I'm not a loser. you know, uh, I get along with as much as possible with other people, but at the same time, like even though it's weird, sometimes I still do it. Like I remember before back then, like like you have to you dress like with the overalls, so like red shoes, red pants, red shirt, or green all overall, and all that. And like at that time, like it's like when you wear, you stand out of the crowd. So for me, like I always risk it, that I wanna stand in the crowd, and then sometimes people like sees it as a confidence. But for me, it's just me risking it, see how it goes. And I just want to be unique. I just don't want to be the same. I just want to be always like out of the box in a way. Like even in high school, like I had the name like called Unique. My name was Unique at that time, like a set of my friends. And I don't know, man, like even with girls, like I risk it. Like, man, I had a lot of rejections, like in my life. I had a lot of rejections. Like when me and my homegirl were talking, but I told her like I had like so much like rejections in my life, even with girls, but I still did it anyway. And at the time, like when we were talking about it, I don't even know why I did it. Was it confidence, or was I just a risk taker? Like what is it? So I'm not really sure, because I remember like I went for girls that are really pretty, and like I was like really not confident, but I still do it. Like I don't know how I got that. Like let's say I like this girl, and I just go ahead and like said hi, or like even when I was nervous. So I think I was telling her, like, to overcome it, I think you need to be a risk taker in a way, and like don't like worry about the consequences, because at the end of the day it's always a risk. Like life is a risk. That's what I told her. Like, life is a risk, friendship is a risk, freaking love is a risk. It's just a bunch of risks, and you will never know unless you try. And I was telling her, like, when I like was in my, like, I think when I got I don't want to say the peak, but I got more confident, or I don't know, I cannot explain it. Like I was even telling her, like, at some point I just had a click, or I had a switch in my mind that I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give an F anymore what other people think, because when I think about others people think, it holds you back. Because for me, as long as you're not hurting anybody, you're good. Like like it's okay. So I think it starts from there, of being like a risk taker and not worrying about the consequences. So now she was saying, you know what, you're right. Like I think I shouldn't overthink this, and just go ahead and see how it goes, because no matter what, you will never find out something unless you try. And if it f's you up, it's okay, you learn from it. But I think a lot of people have that, like, like fear of rejection in a way. And I just want to let you guys know, like, I'm not perfect, okay? I still have those times where, like, I don't want to be rejected. I'm shy, like, I'm nervous, but like I think now it came to the point, and it depends also on the mood. I'm not saying I always do it, but right now I've learned to, like, I don't wanna, it hurts more if you don't do it. Like I don't like any like what ifs in my head. So like, let's say if I like this girl, or I want to get to know this person, or I wanna be friends with this person, or whatever it is, or like I wanna try this thing, like like it will always. I don't wanna be like what if in my head, like I rather get rejected. I've learned I rather get rejected. Yes, it's gonna suck 1 or 2 days, maybe a week. You're gonna get shy, but you're gonna get over it. But the feeling of like going home and like thinking like, what if that was my soulmate? Like if you want to get a person's number, like what if that was my soulmate and you didn't do anything about it? Like until now, honestly, until now, till this day, it's still like very hard for me to like just approach a girl and just say they're cute and like try to get their number. I feel so nervous, like for reals. Like I think the last time I got a girl's number was maybe like a year ago, like in a hot pot place, and it's funny because I'll tell you a little bit of the story. But basically, me and my homegirl, like we're eating like at this shabu shabu place. Shabu shabu is like, it's like a hot pot kind of place, buffet. Just Google it because I don't want to make this like story super long. And our server was like, when she was trying to get our order, I look at her and I'm like, man, this girl is so pretty. And then she was like looking at me, and I was looking at her, and then suddenly we had that moment like in my head, and she asked my homegirl what order she wants, and my homegirl gave her order. And then when she asked me, bro, I went silent. Like I got lost in the sauce. I got lost in the sauce for reals. And then yeah, and then when I told her, oh, I need to think about my order, and she said like, okay, I'm gonna leave first. And then she left, and then she came back, and I gave her my order. And then I told my homegirl like, oh man, the girl is cute. The girl is cute. And I'm like, man, I need to shoot my shot. And then she was like what you said, everything is a risk, and just be confident, and you don't want that what if in your head, right? But I was so nervous, man. Like I was so freaking nervous, right? So basically we finished our food, and I said, you know what, I cannot leave this place and not try it, and I'm like, it's been a long time that I never get a girl's number. But I'm like, man, this is all or nothing. And you know what, like if I get rejected, I would learn from this, and yeah, if you ever go to Broad, Cerritos area, California, yeah, she's there, she works there. Shout out to Angeline, yeah. But so basically, like I went there, bro. Like I went there, and I'm like, hey, I just want to say, like, I was shaking, like I was shaking. I was shaking, and I was like, hey, I think you're really beautiful, and I would like to get to know you. Can I get your Instagram? No, not Instagram. Can I get your phone number? That's what I told her. And then when I pull up my phone, bro, my hand was shaking, bro. And she laughed a little bit, and she's like, don't get nervous. It's cool. And then I'm like, can I get your number? And she's like, you know what? Like honestly, like this is genuinely, like I'm not rejecting you or anything like that. But I don't know. We never know. Even if she said this, maybe in her head it was I still got rejected or whatever. But she said she has a boyfriend, and in my head I'm like, yeah, you got rejected already, whatever, right? And then I said like, can I get your Instagram then? And she's like, I would, but like I feel like that's kind of cheating. But honestly, though, like I also think you kind of like a like chubby cute. Like you're a cute chubby guy, like you have a nice smile, and like I appreciate that you try your best to like have that guts, and you have confidence. That's what she told me. And then in my head at that time, like I didn't have confidence, but I still risk it. So I think it's also trying to risk and try to get out of your comfort zone as much as possible. And then, but yeah, there was a problem there too, where because when I was talking to her, she was laughing. This other guy like came like, hey, is there any problem? It was her coworker, bro. And then like, oh, he I already know when he came over there, he kind of low-key likes her, but she was laughing, and then whatever, and then but anyway, we me and the guy were talking, and I said, oh yeah, I was getting her number, but now we good. And yeah, and then just like, but he was trying to say, but okay, we're gonna close now, bro, like you should like leave or whatever. I'm like, no, bro, like I'm talking to her right now, like why do you need to like bother us? And then the girl was like, yeah, I'll just talk to him, but we'll be quick. I don't know if he's the manager or he's I don't know, man, but he was a short Filipino dude, and I feel like he was Filipino. And I asked him straight up, like, hey, are you Filipino? He's like, yeah, I'm Filipino, and I speak in Tagalog with him, and I'm like, tol, sandali lang, sabi ko. I'm saying like, hey bro, like let me talk to her, like kausapin ko muna to saglit. Tas sabi niya like, bro, Filipino ka, man, like you're Filipino, like like don't like do this like kind of bullshit. And then he's like, all right, bro, sorry, bro, my bad, my bad. But anyways, yeah, and after that he left. I talked to Angeline, and Angeline was like, you know what, I appreciate you have confidence. And I already was like, when I were getting your order, I already saw your LA hat. It was cool. You had a nice smile, and you have tattoos, and I think also you're kind of cute. But I have a boyfriend. And I would love to give you my Instagram, but I don't want that temptation or that cheating. But I hope like see you around. That's what she said. So, and I'm like, all right. So basically, like, I got rejected, but I learned from it, and I got a good feedback on it. So what I'm just saying, like, you will never know, man. You will never know. And then fast forward, me and my parents went there and went to eat over there, bro. You guess who was our server? Freaking Angeline, man. And yeah, and she made my parents like serve them like really good. And then like, but my parents didn't know, like, oh, I already know this person, but yeah, that's the story, man. And what else? What I was telling to my homegirl is like, I think there's some ways on how you do it to be like, to overcome the insecurities. Is I also like, what I found out of myself is you need to, find your strengths and weakness as much as possible. Like, like like I always make a joke where like, oh, this is a joke, okay, but it's kind of low key true, because some of my friends or some of my homegirls, based on their experience, it's kind of true, like like I'm not really like that tall. Like I'm just like, I'm 5'6" or 5'7" tall, like Filipino height. And a lot of girls like a lot of tall dudes. But some of the homegirls that I have, or like friends that I have, they said like some tall people are like low-key like boring in a way. And then I was like, what do you mean? Because at first you get attracted to the tallness of it. And you find it attractive, but because sometimes the people think they got it already, and they don't make effort on themselves because they got it like that. They don't need to work on it. They don't need to work on themselves, but for me, like, okay, like, what's my strong point? So me, my strong point is like, I'm like, as much as possible, I'm very funny. Like, I'm a funny dude. So you know what? I'll try to be more funnier. Something like that. Like, be interesting. Like, be an interesting person, or like, also I was telling her, like, find your talents that you have. Like, are you artistic? Are you do this or you do that? And it will never be perfect. I think insecurities will always be there, but it's also like how you live with it, and how you see your strengths and weaknesses, and how you maneuver things, and use that as your tool, use it as your power to, like, get it, to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like get that shit. So yeah. So I think it's being risky, being calm, and also, like, if you ever listen to the other episodes, Big Boy Confidence, there's ways. I think, if you work on yourself too, like, going to the gym, having a skincare routine, dressing well, and also, like, I also say this, like, you need to do some test and run. What I mean, like, you need to test things out, like through feedback. Like, okay, I'll wear this, what do people think, like, okay, I'll work because I feel confident on this, but what's the feedback, like even like rejections with people, or rejections with things, or whatever it is, you get better at it. It's just really also the mindset, and the being positive, and just being like, what, I got this. What, like, I'm that girl, or I'm that guy. I want to be confident. Let me put myself out there. You need to get out of your box. You need to, like, see where it goes and risk it. And I think that's how it is. Like, even like I have, like, some handsome homies, like handsome guy friends, but, like, it's like they're already handsome, but so it's easy for them, like, okay, the girl like, gives them attention because they're handsome, but like, they don't know to handle that, or like, they don't know how to accept that and be confident with that. Like, like, even if when they're with the girl already, they don't, because they don't have that confidence. So like, I think rejection helps you also, like, testing it out, like, hey, what, let me practice, let me do this. Like, I feel like when you practice on something, you'll get better anyway. And also accepting, like, the things that you cannot change sometimes. Like, I cannot change my height, like, unless they put, like, an implant on my leg and, like, elevate me and stuff. But, like, you need to accept that and, like, work on it. Like, dress well, brush your teeth, smell good, have a style your life, and but yeah. So I was telling that to my homegirl, and she was like, what, yeah, I think no matter what, you just really need to, like, have that mindset and just put yourself out there. And sometimes too, like, I remember, like, you really, whatever you think who you are becomes who you are. And also, like, it's also the environment and how you consume information, consume, like, things. And I just want to make it clear, okay, like, I'm giving you guys what I've experienced and what I've seen, but I'm not perfect. But, like, I can finally say that I am confident who I am. And, like how I say it in Tagalog, like dala ko yung sarili ko. What it means, like I carry myself, where like even if like I'm big, like even if I'm big, it doesn't matter. Like and I don't want to put this like out there, but like if I I can get like a good like a beautiful baddie girl, and then people think like, damn, like when I'm with a girl and then she's a baddie, they always think, oh, he has money, oh, he's this, he's that. But honestly, it's just, be yourself, be confident with it, own it, that you got this, you can handle this, and also you can also have like, like fake it till you'll make it. Like you got this. And I was telling her to like just pour yourself to be the best version of you and own it, conquer it. Surround yourself with like really like good people, because that's really important. Change your environment, surround yourself with positive people, and just learn, baby steps, conquer it. You got this, and but yeah, and I hope you guys got something, out of this. I know it's kind of like a random, but I just remembered this and I just went on top of the dome because me and my homegirl were like talking about this. And but yeah, you got this. Work on your communication skills, work on yourself physically, mentally. Try your best, shadow work, journal, positive thinking, positive vibes, good music, good people. And eventually, like if you keep working on it, it will never be perfect, but at least make it like, somewhat perfect, or like somewhat like close to 100%. But yeah, this is the Strawberry Jams podcast. I'm your host, Monday Sauce, Confidence Sauce. We out. Bye.